I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A Bunnell internet cafe is robbed and then served with a cease and desist order. Deputies say a masked gunman entered Dakota Joe's in southern Flagler recently. Deputies say the robber hit a worker over the head with a gun several times. While investigating the robbery, deputies say they noticed casino-style gaming devices inside the self-described Senior Entertainment Center on South Old Dixie Highway. Adult arcade games with cash payouts were banned by the state in 2013 except in legitimate casinos. Dakota Joe's was slapped with a cease and desist order, or both the owner and the landlord could face arrest. Landlord Pravnov Shah says the devices were removed Friday.
This portion of Flagler's Morning Local News, a service of the Daytona Beach International Airport. Save time, money, and stress. Daytona Beach International Airport, it's just plain easy.
What's the story behind a shooting in Bunnell on Thursday night?
The stories don't totally match the evidence that we have, nor what other people are telling us.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley said somebody was shot on Thursday night around 10 at Knox Jones Road. He said that several witnesses told deputies several different stories.
We don't believe that the people involved and the witnesses are being very forthcoming, and someone knows the truth and someone knows where the gun is that was used in the shooting.
Staley said that while they have a suspect vehicle impounded for evidence and they have identified suspects and witnesses, they need those who know what happened to call or email Crime Stoppers with information that will help investigators. The sheriff said the victim is in stable but serious condition, having been shot in the arm and the stomach area.
The city of Bunnell has a new city manager, and we're going to get to know him a little better this week.
He may be Bunnell's city manager, but his wife was the one who got Dr. Alvin Jackson here.
My wife actually came with me to a conference here at the Hammock Dunes and fell in love with Flagler County about 2 years ago.
Jackson and his wife are from Eustis, Florida. They have 7 daughters and 1 son. In part 2 of our series on Dr. Alvin Jackson, we'll hear what the city manager thinks of all the vacant land in Bunnell. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
The Flagler County Sheriff's Office is taking a step forward using technology to help keep domestic violence victims safer. John Arking reports.
In June of 2017, Sheriff Rick Staley formed a multi-disciplined, community-driven task force to work together to reduce domestic violence in Flagler County. Through that initiative, the task force recommended an ankle monitoring program to be implemented for domestic violence offenders, which went into effect last Thursday.
We worked with the committee and researched various companies and chose Securus Technologies. And the best thing about this technology and this new opportunity is that it costs the taxpayers nothing. The offender will pay the monthly fees to be monitored.
The program provides victims with designated exclusion zones where the offender may not lawfully enter. If an offender violates the exclusion zone, the victim and the sheriff's office is immediately notified. The notification will allow victims to know that while there may be a threat to their safety nearby, a sheriff's deputy will respond and arrest the offender. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
Local students are honored with a special visit from the sheriff. Tony Magoo has the story.
Sheriff Rick Staley visited 3 local schools to present 3 exceptional students with awards for being great kids.
I've asked my school resource deputies to work with the faculty at the schools they're assigned and select a great kid from an elementary, middle, and high school each month.
And how did they take the news?
Well, it was great. The kids were excited. Some were surprised. They didn't know that they were being selected.
Cheyenne Engelhardt is a 4th grader at Bunnell Elementary School. Haley Hearn is an exceptional student at Buddy Taylor Middle School. And Hunter Perez is the president of the Matanzas legal team at Matanzas High School. The 3 November honorees for the Great Kid Awards are outstanding students who are making a positive difference in their schools.
In law enforcement, we deal with the 2% kids that make bad decisions. The 98% of the kids in our community do a great job. They do their schoolwork, and this is a way to recognize that we have great kids in our community.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
Liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. All right, USA! 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 USA!
That's the sound of Freedom Fest from this past Saturday. According to the Flagler County Sheriff's Department, more than 7,000 people attended the third annual Freedom Fest at the Flagler Executive Airport. Military aircraft, rock concerts, and fireworks are standard ingredients that attracted the large crowd of all ages. The American Flag Project President Nikki White documented over 720 people waving American flags all at one time, nearly tripling last year's record. Flagler Executive Airport Director Roy Seeger said this year's Freedom Fest was the biggest ever and is already planning on next year's event for the first Saturday in November 2019. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Carroll.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.